Take
Take
me
me out to the ball game.
Take
me out to the
crowd.
Find
Find some peanuts and
and
cracker
Cracker
jacks.
Jacks.
I
I
don't care
don't
if I
care if
never
I
get back.
never get back.
Let me
Let me
root for
root
the
for the
home
home
team.
team.
If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's one,
For it's one,
two, three strikes, you're out at the
old
old
ball
game.
game.
Oh,
All right, you
God.
managed to stick
Play
through with that.
ball.
Congratulations.
Oh, I can't stop laughing. Woo!
That was
We are
the
so out of
slowest
sync.
rendition.
Yeah, that was definitely the slowest rendition I've ever heard of the song.
Woo! Welcome everybody to season 14.
welcome.
Oh, never mind. All right. You take it away.
Yeah, hello everybody. Welcome back to the Chief Seats Critics podcast. For the recap of season 14, I am one of your hosts, a geeky writer.
I'm Carson Maroon.
And I'm Sprinks, and that might be the most
Would
chaotic
you believe
opening
we
we've
never
ever had.
practiced that?
No,
First try.
I said we had to do
Could you
first
believe
try.
it?
They don't do other tries at the ball game. It's one you're going. Oh boy, hey, ball players. Maybe you don't play ball. I don't know. I'm
You're
just
ballers.
I'm speaking to you, audience.
We committed a crime here.
No. You audience, if you look up Cheap Seat Critics anywhere, you can find us on different platforms, social media sites, visual areas such as YouTube and Rumble, LetterBox, where we have all our scores of what we've covered averaged out. Yeah, give us a like, give us a comment, give us a share. It'd be help out the pod. Thanks.
What a
So
season.
concise. Yeah, what a season. Baseball.
Yeah,
I'll throw out a question immediately.
All right.
Revolving baseball, actually. If you had to rank your top 5 favorite sports, actually I'll say top 3, would baseball be in there for either of you?
Yes. Top 3 favorite sports, yes.
Okay, to watch and then play. I'll have 2 different ones.
Oh, to watch and then play. Okay.
Yeah, because those could be very different answers.
Baseball is kind of a weird middle child for me, in the sense of like I played it when I was younger, but I don't know if I haven't seen like a proper baseball game all the way through in so long. So I don't know if I can consider it my top 3. No, I don't think it makes it there, unfortunately. Would I play it again? Yeah, I think I would. I enjoyed it.
To watch, yes, it possibly might be number 1. To play, no, does not make my top 3.
All right. It would probably be top 3 watch, but not my top 3 to play. Even though I played like 6 or 7 years of it. Lots of fun sports out there to play.
Yeah,
baseball,
esports.
it's a little slow. Yeah, esports. It's a thriving business.
It's true. I got a fun question for all of you.
Okay.
Who is the best baseball player that we covered, excluding our draft?
Okay, so
Ooh,
in the 4 films, who's the best player?
That is a solid question.
I think it's Dottie Hinson.
I was just about to say that. It's that or Airbud. Yeah, I'll say Dottie, because she didn't really screw up, and when she did, it was questioned if she actually did or not. So, say Dottie.
Yeah, I'd probably agree with that. Dottie. Second place, I'd probably put Benny the Jet Rodriguez.
That's a second place is a lot harder. See, with Benny is a good batter. I don't know any other position he does. I don't even know if he can pitch well.
Yeah, we don't see him pitch much in this film, huh?
My answer will be Tammy from Airbud, because they pretty much play her off as Dottie, but in Airbud.
Yeah, I might have to go with Tammy.
That's true. That's a good one. Yeah.
She plays more positions well.
Yeah. Whether or not she could play against anyone in Field of Dreams as actual professional ball players, that can be contested.
Be
But
debated.
Depends if she can see the
within her
market.
own league,
Within
that's
her
true.
own league, she's leagues ahead. But
Yeah.
She made the paper 4 times.
The team did, yeah. And they kept showing her face, and
Well, wasn't one of the headlines just said
I
Tammy?
don't remember her name.
Like just her?
yeah,
It wasn't the team.
Yeah.
very creative that week. Tell you what,
Well,
best announcer, I think Airbud wins that.
Well,
yeah, I'd say so.
there wasn't much in the other ones, so yeah. With the picks we have, sure.
Well, Sandlot had Smalls as the announcer slash our narrator. Uh, League of Their Own, we saw a snippet, but they weren't really characters.
No, they're just kind of bored
Nice.
a little.
Yeah.
Field of
They were
Dreams
bored
did
up
have one.
until the game started getting interesting.
No, I'll go with the Alan Tudyk knockoff from Airbud, 7th inning fetch.
Yes. Since we're on the topic, I did have a question pretty close to this of best players. I was going to say best team that we covered here.
Best
Ooh,
team. I'm going with League of Their Own. I'm going with Dottie Hinson's team.
the Rockford
Uh,
Peaches.
Yeah, thinking the Rockford Peaches.
Shoot.
I'm leaning Field of Dreams team. It's amalgamation of a bunch of random teams, and they were peak at their time. So, yeah,
Funny enough, so is
I'll
Rockford
say Field.
Peaches.
Well, yeah, but statistically, male ball players throw faster and run
Yeah.
faster. So if they were pit against each other, I'm
Oh, you're
probably
asking
leaning
when,
Field of Dreams.
like, who you think works as the best team?
Crimson, I'm
Yeah, best doesn't
also
win.
going to go with the White Sox from Field of Dreams.
Yeah, if we're
Well, the whole
going
team
who'd
wasn't
win,
just the White Sox.
if we're going who'd win, I'd also pick Field of Dreams.
Well, I thought it was just Joe, and then he brought the White Sox, and then he said when in an actual game he brought a different team.
It was Joe. He brought 8 of his pals, and then when we see the full field, it's a whole bunch of different teams. You can tell with the jerseys they're wearing.
Okay. Well, I'll still go with Field of Dreams.
Yeah. I actually, better yet, what if we rank them? I feel like for me, it would be Field Dreams, League of Their Own, Sandlot, Airbud's the hard one for me.
I might have to put. Oh gosh. The thing that's hard about it is I think Airbud's players have more range in different positions than Sandlot, but I think Sandlot, the players in their field, can outpeak anyone in Airbud.
I would actually pick the
There's another
Sandlot team over
Tammy or-
Airbud, specifically for the fact that there is a team that comes out and dares them to play. That like they are kind of like an equivalent to what Airbud's team is. They are a bunch of, they're trained at school. So I might pick the Sandlot team being better than Airbud.
Actually, that's true. You don't have to vary up the outfield play, and they all hit a ball in the swap.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. I guess Sandlot then Airbud. Because the Airbud team only has like 3 good players. Maybe 4 if you count the pitcher guy whose name I've forgotten.
I forget. Seems like
And
Crimson
It started with
Iron.
an R. Randy. I think it was Randy.
Sure.
Maybe.
Yeah, it's Randy. Randy's right.
Seems Crimson
Randy,
Iron equal agreement here, and Ryder is just swapping league and field.
Probably in terms of like what I would prefer to watch again.
No, not the
And if I'm-
teams. What we're going with the 1 through 4.
Yeah, if we're going on like best team, I would probably put Field over League. I love the league. I like the league team more, but I would if I'm picking a team to win, it would probably be Field.
Oh, so we're all in agreement.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now we haven't gotten any feedback so far on our baseball team draft. In case anyone's curious.
Correct.
So we haven't gotten anything back on that to discuss that. We also haven't gotten any feedback on our last recap season 13 of the bracket banter of a distinguished winner.
So there's no winners
Well, I do have
unless
information
someone
that could change
comments later.
something. However, I'm going to save it for season 15 recap because I think by the time season 13 recap has been posted, it should give an accumulative equal amount of time or more time on its plate before a decision's made. So in season
So
15, if something hasn't been voted upon, I will bring up information I hold now.
so you got someone on the sidelines to watch the video and comment.
No,
Oh, okay. Guess we'll find out.
no, it's just because of recording time things, I think season 13 should give the recap of that should have more time than say a week or so from the recording of season 14 recap currently we're doing.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
That's fine. I had a topic. Yes. So I did watch Airbud again post recording.
Why?
Remember he gave it a higher rating, I think, right?
No, Airbud. Wait, was that one? No,
Yeah,
that was the one. Yeah. I I am lowering the score of Airbud. My objective from 5. It's not as drastic as I was thinking. I was thinking maybe a 4. It's going to a 4.5. It's dropping 0.5 because I do feel like they do have good camera work. The actors are still decent actors. I don't think they're pulling it down, but I do feel like 5's too generous, so I am lowering it by 0.5. But that wasn't the point I was going to make. I did forget about that. Thank you, Ryder.
You're welcome. I would have brought it up later.
Yeah, Ryder and I did misinform Sprinks on something though that I caught in it.
Oh, wonderful.
On his big question, what is the 7th inning fetch? Ryder and I both said 7th inning catch, which was wrong. I realized it when I was watching, like, that's not right. Why did we say that? Uh,
Did we say
7th
seventh inning
inning
catch?
stretch. 7th inning stretch, which is a time in a baseball game where everyone gets up and stretches during the 7th inning because they're sitting down the whole time. That's what the play on words is. So there's your answer, Sprinks.
Cool. Did the movie have that?
The mom and dad stood up,
Okay.
but that was mostly
okay.
because they were looking for the kids. Oh,
I mean,
Oh.
every batter goes up to stretch, so.
So Crimson, you said your objective or subjective went to a 4.5.
my objective.
Objective. Okay.
My
got it.
enjoyment level's still the same.
Gotcha. Well, being that Sinister is not present, he still had a space when it came to visual aid of things for YouTube and Rumble side. That score is now used as a group averaged score for whatever it is we're covering. So originally Airbud was at a 5. Crimson, does your change that score at all?
Well, we've discussed in the past that any changed recap score does not affect our established group score because that would just mess up the whole system we have on cataloging.
Especially if
So
I go back
no,
to like.
um, in some fashion, probably, but not in our records. So it's not changing anything.
Okay, just good to identify. For anyone curious, I mean, besides myself.
Yeah.
Um,
Mathematically, yes, it would affect it, but we don't keep track of changed ratings.
All right. Speaking
All
about
right.
changed ratings, Crimson, would you change your own objective, or are you still sticking with that?
I'm still with it.
Okay, cool. Just curious.
Was there a question about that? I don't remember.
No, it's just everything's an 8 except his 7.5.
Oh,
He wants me to
the meme.
raise it.
Got it. You want the meme. Got it.
No, I'm sticking with it.
Okay.
So I
Darn it,
guess
we
that kind
don't
of
have.
goes into our standard ratings question. Then we're talking about ratings. Any surprise observations or questions on ratings? You kind of threw one in there already.
Well, for that, it wasn't a surprise. It's just it's an eyesore.
That
An
was it
observation.
was my
Yeah.
surprise that was
I
dealt with
saw.
during that podcast. So
Yeah. But any surprise ratings from either of you? I guess.
I'll let Ryder go first if he has one.
I'm looking at it now. I actually don't have any. I think as far as I understand how your scales work, and at least even when I'm struggling with your Springs, I think I still understood why the way Air Bud was scored. So I don't really have any actually.
Okay. I have one for Ryder. You subjectively liked Field of Dreams and Airbud equally. Is that on account of your feeling towards Kevin Costner as an actor?
Yeah, that would that would probably lend to my feeling towards Kevin Costner as an actor. Um, I found Field of Dreams is very interesting, right? So it balanced. The reason it balanced out to about five is I really love James Earl Jones, and I don't love Kevin Costner, so I kind of balanced out to a middle ground.
And do you
Um,
have Ray Liotta in the middle ground of that? Who is Shoeless
Ray,
Joe Jackson?
yeah, uh, he was fine. Like, so he didn't really impress me or anything. Um, what really, like I said, what bumped the score up most of that is the wife and James Earl Jones. I think those two characters are really loved them and their scenes. But the rest I just kind of found blandish towards trending to boring. Um, and then I guess when comparing why it's the same rank as 17 Fetch, it was again a lot of mixed feelings about the film. I had a lot of fun with 17 Fetch, but I was also kind of dumbfounded sometimes.
Okay.
Do you have any more specific questions you'd like to ask?
No,
Because I know there
I was
was
just curious on them being equal and if that how much they counted of your disliking of Kevin Costner weighed in on it.
yeah, I think it weighed in a little bit for sure. On my subjective for sure.
I guess a variation follow up to that is if you could recast someone to take the place of Ray in the film Kevin Costner, who would
Ray
you cast?
Kinsella.
Yeah,
Oh, ooh,
to make the film more enjoyable for you.
I'd have to pick someone from that era. I might pick. Funny enough, the one who jumped into my head first was Russell Crowe.
Was just about to say that.
Yeah, that's who jumped in my head first, as I would pick Russell Crowe for that role.
Okay.
Uh, it's funny enough, they're both play Superman's dad, but I think Russell Crowe has a better ability to display his range, but he would still keep that kind of farmer's father aesthetic that they were going for in the film. And granted, I haven't seen all of Kevin Costner's work, and the work I remember of his, I do like being Robin Hood and uh, For the Love of the Game, and Paul Wes Anderson's. No, that's not the right actor. That's not the right film. But he does a. Kevin Costner plays a lawyer in a film about who killed John F. Kennedy. Um, those are being, I think, some of my works of Kevin Costner that I like. But I can't. I remember it being more I like their script rather than his acting, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I don't know why for me the first one that came my mind for a recasting would be John Travolta.
Hmm.
Who does he play, Springs? I'm not as good with actors.
John Travolta is most known for Saturday Night Fever and Grease,
Oh,
Face
okay.
off.
Yeah,
but
that's
the the type of like film that this looks like to me reminds me of a film called Phenomenon with John Travolta in it, and it just feels to be kind of not filmed the same way, but filmed with the same like time period and equipment.
yeah. Oh God, who I don't know the name of that film. There's a Springs. I think you'll know this one. There's a film with a dead guy who
What's on the name?
is trying to talk to his lover. from Beyond the Grave, and he's going through medium, but his best friend is also trying to get his girlfriend.
Oh,
R.I.P.D.
is that Always? Richard Dreyfuss,
Maybe
John
it
Goodman,
could be. It might be.
Steven Spielberg film?
Yeah, it's a romance movie, but I think we talked about it very briefly. I don't remember the name of the film.
Does it have to do with
He's usually
planes?
uh maybe. I know he's wearing a red shirt most of the time. Um,
Okay, could be Always. The other
yeah, it
thing
could be
that,
always.
well, you also said a medium, so it also tickles. It could be Ghost. But that's a lot more romantic, and it doesn't have a friend trying to romanticize, or
It
and that's
might
Patrick
be. Yeah,
Swayze with Whoopi Goldberg.
I remember Whoopi Goldberg. There we go. Yeah, I
Oh,
think
okay,
that's the
it's
one.
Ghost, the famous clay pot scene.
Playpot.
Yeah,
All right,
I think
Ghost,
the main lead of that could also play a good Rick and Swore.
Patrick Swayze. Yeah,
Yeah, that would work too. Uh, let's see. I guess anything else on that surprise rating before I say mine?
no,
Um, this one's for you, Sprinks. In regards to your objective for Airbud, with my new framework of how I understand your scale being every movie's a 5 and it works up to a 10 based off of good elements that they apply. I feel like through Airbud, we discussed a lot of negatives that would make it below average for a film, but your rating makes it above average in production. Do you still agree with that
I
assessment,
do.
or?
I do. A lot of the issues were with the writing and character situations,
Well, you
but
brought up acting of the mom, editing. There were some sound effects that didn't mesh well for you. I felt like there was a lot of elements you pointed out as being flawed. Um, so it seemed like it would have been more leaning towards objectively less average.
I suppose so. But I think there's still out of the like, I don't know, acting. If there's more worse acting than good, then that's a lower for it. But if it's, one instance of a bad, then yes, it can't. It's not great, but it's not overall diminishing. Like Field of Dreams with the lamp lighting, just because it's a one lighting error doesn't necessarily count all lighting as bad for the film. On account of one instance. The same goes, I guess, for Airbud. One situation of something that's bad, like one camera angle that's sickening, or I guess an example to that, Death at a Funeral with the camera angle and the, I don't know, the mom walking down the aisle, whatever,
Yeah.
really weird shot. Um, but that doesn't diminish the entire cinematography and usage of the film. It does point it out though that it's not like as high as it could be in significance because of a nick. So overall with Airbud, I think it's not perfect by no means, but it's definitely a point 0.5 above average.
I also this is not necessarily this is how I quantify your scale a little bit, Strings, as well as I don't consider your scale to have an average. My what I read from your objective is typically a 6 or above is a watchable film, and 5 and below is we start trending to not a watchable film. That's usually how I'm now understanding your scale as well.
Yeah,
So 6 for me, not necessarily doesn't necessarily, at least as far as I understand, doesn't necessarily mean an average. It just means that it's a watchable film. Like it's on the side of being watchable still.
yes. I Airbud 7th Inning Fetch I would watch again.
Well, right. You're talking about the objective scale or the subjective?
I'm talking about this objective scale. That was one of the things I picked up early on. One of my mistakes, I guess, when it comes to Sprinks' scale, is I was just attaching numbers to things that don't move. So like he
Yeah.
has permanently 2 points to writing, 2 points to lighting, that sort of thing.
My
But as far as I understand, that oscillates.
It
So
does. My subjective though would weigh more into watching a movie or not, of my own enjoyment of the film, not so much of the craft of the film being made by objective. For example, like Clone High, I think it's a really well done animation, but I didn't enjoy it. Saying such, I wouldn't necessarily go back and watch it out of my enjoyment.
because that one's also very, very heavy into history and stuff like that too. So
So like Airbud being a 5 rather than point 0.5, the 5.5 being in the middle of the bar, it's enjoyable at parts, but overall it's not great, but that doesn't diminish that I would never watch it again.
I guess that was my clarification for the rating.
I am curious though, watching when and if covered or on my own, watching other Airbud movies, where this one lines up with the rest.
Well,
uh,
having done research for Critics on Critics, it is split on that one. A lot of people say, "Oh, it's the best airpod." A lot say it's the worst. It's very very split.
A lot of people say that's
um,
the best one. That's fearful for the rest.
Yeah, I don't know what they're on because I'm
yeah,
on the side of it. It's one of the worst.
it's
Airbuds, not the
funny.
buddies.
As
Buddies are
as
not
I
as well.
said, this film convinced me not to bother with the franchise at all. The only way anyone's gonna get me to watch the first one of this film is if someone sits me down for it.
Yeah, the first one I've seen and I don't remember hating it.
That's a good movie. First one. Like I said, in Seventh Inning Fetch, I did tear up on the first one.
This is a dumb question, and it's still related to the podcast.
Please ask it.
Uh, yeah, I know. We didn't cover Jurassic Park 2 or 3, right?
No,
No, we
but
haven't
we've
even
talked a
covered
lot
one.
about them in private.
I know we talked a lot about it.
We covered
We covered
Dominion.
Dominion and we covered 1.
We covered Dominion. No, we haven't covered one.
We
Not for the
haven't?
podcast.
We've just covered Dominion.
I thought okay, it's still me then. I don't maybe we talked a lot about 1.
Oh, we
Probably.
have.
Probably a
Yeah.
lot in Dominion.
Yeah.
Not that
I
much.
I
Ryder,
don't
you and I have talked about the franchise a lot off pod.
yeah, off and on pod. That might be where I'm getting my memories from because for some reason I have this memory of being in a Discord call with you and talking about the franchise as a whole, and I keep thinking that's on live for the podcast, and I was just I don't know, my brain. I've had a really rough time of it on my side of life right now. All my memories are getting jumbled.
Could have been brought up in the recap for that season.
It's possible.
What was the point you're bringing with it, or you're just clarifying a memory?
I was just clarifying a memory for myself, and I figured I may as
Okay.
well do it live because I'm like I had a memory of talking about. It might have been a dream, but I remember talking about 2 and 3 on the podcast specifically, and I don't remember if it was for the recap or if it was in context for Dominion. But I always keep thinking that we covered 1, Jurassic Park 1 for the podcast, which is very weird for me.
Huh. Could be a alternate reality situation you're being affected with.
Yeah, yeah,
Or
yeah.
a really livid dream.
It could be
Vivid,
both.
vivid.
Vivid. Thank you. I said livid.
I
No.
dedicated enough to my time to the
It was a very
podcast.
angry
Yeah.
dream.
Livid.
Yeah.
Um, no, I just remember us discussing about Jurassic Park 3 of how Crimson and I have it a little subjectively higher in memory than you do.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
that
we didn't
we
tier
brought up
list,
in
but
the
we ranked the
podcast.
podcast, right? Did we rank our Jurassic Park movies for the
I
sake of
don't
the podcast?
I
Not
don't think in
not
the pod.
officially.
We can do it now if you'd
No.
like. Off of
No,
memory.
no, okay. No. We don't need to do that. I thought we did. Anyway,
Yeah,
that's my
not
dumb, stupid
official.
question.
All right. That's a good dumb.
Yeah, we've been doing this long enough now that I'm questioning my memory.
That's fine. That's fine. Yeah, I've not covered Jurassic Park. Could do a season of it.
You can watch the animated show
Let us know down in the comments if you'd be interested in that.
where they answer what happened to the Bearsall can. Probably.
That's true. Yeah. Went somewhere.
Yeah. How are we feeling about some critics on critics?
Fine.
I would love some.
Awesome.
I hear it's
Well, it
a
just
fan favorite.
happens that I have some. Yeah, thanks fans for letting us know. It's a fan favorite. So I've got a couple from each, as I usually do. What does anyone want to pick one in particular to start with?
Let's start
Ooh,
with
these ones-
Field of Dreams to get
Yeah, let's
Kevin
do Field of
Costner
Dreams
out of here
first.
for Ryder.
Get him out of here! All right, Field of Dreams. This is on Letterbox with a 1 star, so 2 out of 10, by Charles Radbourne. Good name. I like it. Uh, an aging hippie sorcerer invokes an eldritch power based on his an- ant- antipathy. I always get that word wrong. Antipathy for his father and causes a legion of dead ball players to be yanked from Hades and brought to a far worse place, a corn maze in Iowa.
That's
That's a cool description for a 1 out of 10.
that would that would have been a that would have been a good movie to watch. I don't know what movie that was that they watched, but
Yeah. Apparently, Iowa is worse than the underworld with Hades.
Yeah, I didn't know Field of Dreams was a Greek movie.
Oh. I mean, Airbud, you brought up if there was devils and stuff. You didn't bring that
I
up in
did
Field of Dreams.
with the fire. There wasn't a lot of fire in Field of Dreams.
yeah, but there was definitely a
No,
religious element.
Yes.
that's that's true. Uh, unfortunately, perf- I like to look at all of the as many reviews as I can from all levels. All of the ones that weren't low were boring, so I only have low ratings for Field of Dreams. So
Well, I
That's
will
fine.
say, Charles,
I'm assuming all the high ratings ones were pretty standard. So
Charles, I like your theory of looking into it. That it's all connected to Hades and the underworld in some situation through use of a hippie.
yeah,
Fascinating.
great
aging
take on
hippie
the film.
sorcerer.
I would like a citation
Yes, I don't necessarily
and an
know if
essay.
that merits it to have a 1 out of 10.
Well, it's 1 star, so 2 out of 10.
Oh, it was once. Okay, so 2 out of 10. Gotcha.
Yeah. All right. Second Field of Dreams one also low, but this one's a half star, so this one's actually 1 out of 10. By Gloom474, also on Letterbox. No capitalizing, because I like to point that out. I hate how I hate this movie so much. I wrote an essay about how much I hated this movie. It feels like watching Donnie Darko or The Wall for the first time, but instead of being left with a deep intrigue to rewatch the film to understand it, I'm just left feeling confused beyond intrigue and with a lot of daddy issues.
That's actually a good review. I don't have anything to say about that. It does feel like a lesser Donnie Darko.
Yeah, I haven't seen The
Huh.
Wall, but I have seen Donnie Darko, and I picked that one particularly because it mentions Donnie Darko, and
It did.
Max is a fan.
Yeah,
I'm
I
a
think it's
big
a
fan
very
of
I think
Donnie
it's a
Darko.
yeah, it's a very good take. I quite like the phrasing in that. It gives an example as to what he's comparing it to and to why it fails. I think he does a good job in the review. I may not agree with the 1 star review, but I understand it. Besides, it could be a combination of his subjective and objective for all I know.
I think I'm in agreement with
Six
what
what?
Ryder said there. Yeah, it's
Oh,
again, have not seen The Wall. I get what he means by the Donnie Darko approach. Um, I find it far lesser though, in comparison for the difference between Field of Dreams and Donnie Darko. But I understand what Flume is saying.
Yeah, I think he did a good job. He definitely communicated his point across. So even though you just need to work on your grammar for capitalization, good job. You got your point across. I understood what you meant.
it's rare that we get a low rating with such praise.
Well,
I
I don't
know,
agree on
right?
the rating, but I
We
agree
don't
on
agree
the
on the rating, but
description.
we understand the point that he
But
made.
Yeah,
You know.
the review.
yeah, congratulations, individual.
Good job, Flume.
Gloom.
Gloom. Good job, Gloom.
Yes.
I am curious though as to why he hated it so much. I mean, given the example, I wonder if there's a personal reason he does. Because as he said, he wrote an essay. I would actually be interested to read that essay.
Yeah, they did not link the essay.
Yeah, it might have been. It might have been in like it was something because Field of Dreams is such a popular movie. It might have been that he had a film as lit class somewhere or a film literature class that made him watch the film just by virtue of the fact it's a well-known and highly regarded film, and it made him dislike it. I'm
Yeah,
building a backstory for this
that's
guy,
also
but
true.
Yes, you
Those
are.
classes and situations, depending on teachers and students, can really drag the fun out of something.
yeah,
Yeah, like the last recap with the death at a funeral being taught in film class.
Wild.
That was a good one.
It's an insane movie to pick.
it
I
really
It
really want to.
is.
is.
I really want to know what What was the what
What's
was
the
the
lesson?
lesson to cut out of that film? What was it aimed for?
Was it a lesson on what not to do or something to do?
How to
Who
do
knows?
comedies and movies. It's like, wow.
Not a good
Alright,
pick.
our next one is for Sandlot on Rotten Tomatoes on a critic review, not an audience review, by Gary Thompson. Gave it a rotten 2 out of 4. Well, 50%, 5 stars, or 5 out of 10, I guess. Uh, the Sandlot is a safe, wholesome, patriotic family picture about baseball. And if there is an original scene, it escaped my attention.
Interesting.
Uh, I just found that so amusing. It's claiming that there's no original scenes. I
Is
don't
it
even understand that.
is it that patriotic of a film?
It's
They're just saying baseball is patriotic in a
Oh,
way.
okay.
no, because this ties into James Earl Jones' speech from Field of Dreams about how it's the one constant American baseball. I think that's what he meant. That's the angle he's going at it for being patriotic. Because I don't think there's like you. I don't see the
I
patriotism
mean,
other
feel
than hey, they
the 4th of
celebrated Fourth of
July.
July
Yeah.
once. Yeah.
Huh.
Uh,
Non-originals. I haven't seen any of the dog stuff in other movies, but I haven't seen
yeah.
all the movies in the world. So.
Sure. I don't know about the whole Babe Ruth ball being lost scenario.
Crimson, do you know the year this review is written?
May 7th, 2014.
2014. So anything pre 2014 is going with the review of non-original.
Yes.
And to be clear, from my point of view, something doesn't have to be original to be good.
Blasphemy.
I know. I know. Hot take from me. So I I don't see. I need an example of what he's comparing to, other than like
Yeah, like Gloom.
It's such a bold claim to say
it's
there's
such a bold
nothing
claim that
original.
you need to have support for it. Like, see, Gloom at least backed it up and gave an example, right? So this is
Yeah.
a um
Hmm.
yeah. I for this one it's definitely like a heavy. I need citation
Yeah.
because
I want to know what
I can't really do anything with this comment.
what's the the connection points. Like what scenes connect to what that make it unoriginal.
Yeah, an example would have been helped. It would have helped.
But giving it a
I
50
don't know.
because of that, I think it's fair for their thoughts.
If that's how his scale works, yeah, I suppose I'm okay with that. I would disagree heavily with how the concept of a scale functions, but
It's feasible.
it's feasible.
Uh, I did forget to mention it is an official critic for the Philadelphia Daily News. Not
Hmm.
to mention that.
All right.
Next one is for Sandlot is also Rotten Tomatoes. This one's rated as a top critic, so highly regarded. Uh, Peter Rayner for the Los Angeles Times.
Oh, we're going after the big people now.
Yeah. The kids even have their own treehouse, which means that the production designer is the only person connected with this project who actually went out on a limb.
Is there a rating in
Is that
here?
the review?
They didn't. There's no rating on here except that it's rotten, so it's less than 60%. Yeah, they didn't provide a number on here.
Going out on a limb. I need to look up the meaning of that phrase really quickly. I'll be right back.
Uh, well, it means they risked something. They were safe because no one else went out on a limb, which is pretty much what the previous guy said, where it's a safe, wholesome, patriotic
To
film.
make a
They both
treehouse?
think they both think it's a safe film. I mean,
Yeah,
the
they
treehouse
yeah
is a jab for the rest of the film, not taking a chance. That is what he's going for.
yeah. He's saying the only person who did their job well was the tree house guy. The guy who made the tree house. Because nothing else was risky. So again, yeah, I think you're right. It might just be in the context of the movie was too safe, didn't accomplish much. It was hmm.
Yeah, and that
Um,
was a constant with a lot of the the critics,
Who was this?
even the
Peter?
positive ones.
You said
Yeah, Peter Rayner.
Peter. I'm sorry, Squints didn't drown. Didn't have high enough stakes for you.
Yeah, I that's kind of disappointing. I with someone who's working for the Los Angeles Times, I would expect a little bit more uh, in his take on this film
It seems
because
like a
this is a
bland
highly this is
review.
yeah this is a highly
It's pretty
regarded
bad.
film, or at least it's very well known.
I'd like to think so,
I
but then again, how old's Peter?
looking at his picture, he's certainly over 40.
Could be an
I
age difference
don't know
situation.
a specific age. Uh, I usually don't have 3-for-1 project, but I did for Sandlot because they were all pretty short ones. Uh, Another top critic from the Chicago Tribune, Dave Kerr. He actually did rate this one 2 out of 4, so same as the first one, being
50-50.
50%. Uh, in the Sandlot's nostalgia for simpler times, a single-sex world seems to be a key component. I couldn't. I was lost.
All right, let me put
Uh,
this in let me put this in translation for you. They're mad because there was no girl starring in the film.
Just the mother and the lifeguard, I guess.
Yeah, the fact that it's all men playing baseball got to them. There weren't any like actual female characters for the majority of the film. That's how I interpret that comment.
That is also how I read it. I just found it baffling that it's a top critic
Dave wanted
saying
more
such shallow
inclusivity.
reviews.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
They want inclusivity.
I'd see
No.
more of it if there were actual girls their age around them, like in the neighborhood or something. And then it's like they're present because it could just mean there's none in the neighborhood. But if they're
yeah.
present and not invited situation, then it leans into that. But Dave's
I
more
think
on
this
the
person would like League of
it's
Their
not
Own.
written in. It's not part of it.
I mean, even if there's girls in the neighborhood, that doesn't mean they want to play baseball. So that doesn't even mean that
Yeah.
either.
Yeah, my question is like, did it have to? That's usually my whenever something like this comes
No.
up, it's like, does it need this to be a functional film? And not really.
I'm curious, would Dave say the same thing about League of Their Own?
Okay,
It's,
where's the guys? Even though it does have guys. No, no. I just saw that as a very shallow review of a top critic. I had to throw it
uh,
in there.
unfortunately, I'm in agreement with you, Crimson.
All
Where are
right.
we off to
Well,
next, sir?
Again, well,
we are.
technically, we could say all three of those reviews were 50s.
Yeah,
That's true.
yeah. They were all rotten to
Interesting.
reviews. All right, we'll go to Airbud. This one I have a positive and a negative because these have all been negative so far. I'll
Ooh,
start with the
spicy.
negative one though, just to continue the chain. This is on Letterbox from Tentacoolest,
All
Cool
half
right.
name.
star, so 1 out of 10. I was going to complain about how the umpire is doing the worst Jim Carrey impression I'd ever seen, but then I saw the basketball player eating and it's a Kadoozy popsicle, and now I just want one of those instead.
I'm sorry, you're gonna have to explain to me what the second half of this means. The ba-
When the dogs returned to the owners, the dog licked his popsicle and then he licked the popsicle. I guess it's called it's Kadooski popsicle. I don't know what that is.
I think that's a brand
Well,
for
yeah,
us uncultured people
okay.
who don't eat popsicles as much anymore.
but yeah, his main complaint, umpire was a terrible Jim Carrey impersonation.
I don't think that warrants a one
Never
out of 10.
connected. Nope.
Yeah.
Never. And this was what, a 1 out of 10? This
Yep.
that I think this is a troll account.
I think that's an unreasonable inference to make.
What is this? Tentacool? Is this a Pokemon?
uh, Tentacoolest. Yeah,
Tentacoolist?
even better than Tentacool and whatnot.
That's a
Yep. Just
it's an odd one.
shallow. It's a non-review.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't like the film objectively, so I probably there should be stuff that I
It
should
has
agree with in
problems.
statement. There should be stuff to agree. I should agree with in these statements. The umpire was not it though.
I mean, can you imagine if
He was
one
he
of
was
us, sorry to be poking fun at Tenta Coolest here, but if one of us was just like, yeah, I didn't like the movie because of the guy doing the whole Alan Tudyk impression, and that's your whole reason to give it a 1.
Yeah, that's what he was doing essentially.
yeah. I mean, we as a group we get hung up on one particular thing all the time. Like we got hung up over the Sandlot's opening, right? But I don't think Sprinks would give it a 1 because he didn't
Yeah,
like
I'm
the
not gonna
opening.
knock it 9 points. Or
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll jump to the positive review.
oh boy,
Uh, Not biased whatsoever with what I'm about to say on this one. It's on Letterbox, 5 out of 5, so 10 out of 10, with a heart. Posted by I Love Airbud. So
Oh,
no bias from this individual. Uh, I've waited 2 years for this one. I can't lie, I'm not disappointed with Airbud 4, though I believe it's the least interesting one to talk about. The metaphors are still there, but it's still the same perfectly written and made film, just with a different sport as the theme. I have no idea why there's this raccoon on the poster, but it may be another hidden meaning as to Airbud series' future. Now, baseball, I must say, it got a home run on me.
um, I'd like to know this person's definition of what the word perfect means.
Perfectly written and made film.
I want to know what metaphors and symbolism they're looking at.
I mean, does a cracked
Yeah, I
egg
don't.
look perfect to them? Is that what I mean,
It's beautiful.
it's a perfectly
Yeah, I don't
written
know what
egg.
metaphors
I
they're
mean,
referring to.
you could splatter paint like a Jackson Pollock painting; it'll be perfect to some people. That's
Sinister cries wherever he is currently.
he just sat up and just got angry for
Yeah,
no apparent reason.
and I did look at this person's profile. They have 16 things reviewed, 14 of which are Airbud. Uh, they are not all perfect scores, though. The
Interesting.
Airbuds are, but the Air Buddies, those are all different. They do love Airbud.
Big fan. A
Yeah,
Big
big
fan.
fan. I'm not a big fan of this reviewer. I'm just saying they are a big fan of Airbud.
yes, they are a big fan.
Yeah. My questions are going to be pertaining to the symbolism and metaphors they're reading into this. I would be curious to get their thoughts on that because that might help explain the gap to me as to why they think the films are perfect. Um,
Yeah, what do they think the
Could you imagine if they
raccoon
saw like
represents?
Shawshank or something?
is
Like, oh man, now this is a perfect film.
Well, it didn't have
it'd
Airbud.
be it'd be really interesting to yeah. I always run that scenario in my head. It's someone who thinks like the Last Jedi is a perfect film. What happens when I show them the Fellowship of the Ring or Shawshank or
Well,
12
it really
Angry
depends on
Men.
the
Twelve
person.
Angry Men?
You
Yeah,
either have one
like
of two realms. You
um,
have one of this is actually the best thing they've seen because everything before then is only a subpar, like their highest bar they've seen. Or you have the other side of like this Airbud reviewer who'll be like, "Oh, I gave it a 4 out of 5 because it's amazing, but it can't be a 5 because no Airbud."
yeah, and that would be
Yeah,
my two takeaway. Or they just hate it because it's not that thing.
That's true.
pretty much.
Half a star, no Airbud.
All right,
All right.
and the last one being A League of Their Own. I realized I picked a lot of negative reviews this season
You
because
did.
these are both
Really
negative
keeping us
reviews as
uplifted
well.
here.
No, we're doing
All the
fine. We're ripping
positives
them
were
to shreds,
boring.
Springs. Come on.
All the positives we couldn't really talk about other than like, yeah, good point. There was no discussions for the positives. This is on IMDb, 1 star, or yeah, 1 out of 10 because they don't do 5 stars. Uh, Written by Stan Zerwin. I'm guessing that's how they pronounce it. The
Interesting.
title: A Good Idea Gone Bad. An interesting concept of a movie which deteriorates under bad casting, acting, and screenwriting. Madonna, Madonna, I combine the names.
Oh my
Madonna,
god.
Madonna, and O'Donnell are just too annoying to ever really get going with this flick. Other than that, I have no complaints. yet they gave it a 1 out of 10.
Well,
Holy shit.
well, they tackled screenwriting.
Who played Kit?
Oh,
That wasn't Donald,
No,
right?
I don't know who Donald is. O'Donnell.
Rosie O'Donnell, Madonna's friend.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
okay, yeah. My citation here is Kit. When Kit needed to act everyone under the table, she even made Tom Hanks look bad. And that's really hard to do. Tom Hanks is an amazing actor. I
Uh,
think Kit killed it in this film. The
Lori
actress who
Petty.
played her. Yeah. Lori Petty was phenomenal as Kit in this film. Her acting stood out to me more than Tom Hanks's did.
Well,
And
Yeah,
I'm not saying that's bad for Tom Hanks.
no,
He's
but
got plenty of other films
a
to
lot of
cite
acting
as
doesn't really
really,
need
really
to
good.
go into a drunken buffoon.
Yeah,
I
that's true.
disagree. You gotta try to act drunk to be a believable drunk.
I
Anyone
think
can fake drunk, but it's obvious that you're just bad at it.
I think Tom Hanks does a serviceable job. I wouldn't point this as his coup de grace. Like this is not
No,
his capstone.
no,
He definitely does a serviceable job as Jimmy, but it's not his best work.
No, if
no.
someone said top 3 best acting, credits of Tom Hanks, I
Mm.
don't think Look at the Throne
Man
would be in
Called
there.
Otto.
Yeah.
Um,
But I think if
3
someone said
Mile.
top 3 like favorite Tom Hanks films, I can see this being in there. Other top 3.
Yeah,
But like in terms of acting, the reason I disagree with that is just I don't know. Kit does such an amazing job. Like again, she's my favorite. She does the best acting in the film, at least to my layman's eye. It's not really what I address with my objective score, but fucking killed it.
Yeah.
well, and the
Well,
part that bugs me with this review is they said bad casting, which was something we heavily praised
Yeah,
with the old people compared to the young.
I would
It,
need a citation for that for sure. Like,
oh
who
gosh,
is a
well,
bad cast?
when you thought Gina Davis was Gina Davis in just old makeup, and it's like, no, that's a completely different person. Same with Kit,
yeah,
completely different actress.
it was stellar casting, one of the best. Well, and then screenwriting, sure, that can be debated. We had our problems with the ending and how
Yeah, it has its issues. It's not a perfect film, but it was still worthy of praise for a
Crimson,
lot of
remind me,
it.
this is Dave in this review here.
Stan.
Stan, sorry, Dave was someone else. Stan, uh, saying, these are the things they don't care for, but everything else is fine, and still meriting a 1. I guess the other things that are fine don't hold any weight,
I guess not.
don't do
I mean, what
anything.
else is there? Casting, acting, and screenwriting. So
That's all. That's
camera
it
work.
to them. Camera work's not even on
Mhm.
their mind. Lighting, set design, outfitting. They don't care about any of that.
Yeah, and the
Timeline
last one
accuracy.
for critics. Yeah, last one for critics on critics. Uh, 1 out of 10, kind of, because the title they put is half star. So they wanted to go lower than the lowest rating on here. Uh, from Iron T. This movie sheds no real insight into the league and is just a stupid movie about sibling rivalry between the Gina Davis and Lori Petty characters. John Lovitz is the only character with any funny lines, but his character is gone after the first 10 minutes, and you should do the same.
Ouch. I disagree.
This movie's about a stupid sibling rivalry.
You
It's a
missed a lot
great
there.
sibling rivalry.
It's a great sibling rivalry. So even if we acknowledge that if it's about this specifically, it was still well written, dude. Like,
I think he
what the fuck?
miscredits that it's based on real events.
Yeah, I don't think he knows his history. um,
And it sounds like he just thinks the premise of a sibling rivalry is stupid.
Oh man, he wouldn't like practical magic.
No real insight into the league and is just a stupid movie about sibling rivalry. So it's not even that they poorly executed sibling rivalries, it's the fact that it was focused on sibling rivalry,
yeah,
which I don't think is inherently stupid.
yeah, that's not inherently stupid. I agree. He, John Lovett's character is the recruiter, right?
Ernie, yeah,
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 Ernie, I
Ernie.
think.
Yeah. That's the only character he liked.
The only one
Funny
he said
enough,
was
that's the
funny.
character. Funny enough, that's the only character that I didn't find him funny. I understood he was supposed to be funny. I also didn't really like him, but I still understood him to be well written. So
I saw him as funny, but that's fun.
He was definitely. I found him funny. I think I stated that would have been, to my knowledge, Sinister's favorite character.
Yeah, I think
yeah,
he said that. That was Critics on Critics. Maybe next
yeah.
season I'll find more engaging positive reviews
It doesn't have to be.
It'll
or
It
be
still
middle
worked.
ground
I mean,
reviews.
the Donnie Darko comment by
that was really the uplifting one
yeah.
right there. That was
I
comment
mean,
of the
even though it
day.
was a low, it
Gets the
was
award.
still a description that fit with example.
Yeah.
I think when they give an example to what they mean that we can understand, really helpful.
Yeah,
Whether it's helpful when, hey, we get what you're saying, good, or hey, you're totally off the ball with what you just said.
exactly. So I think that person gets comment of the day.
Yeah, if someone's like, the acting of Kevin Costner in Field of Dreams was very reminiscent of that in Man of Steel. I thought they were one and the same character. I thought he was just redoing his role. It's like, okay, good example that you're giving. You're not accurate, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I made jokes about those parallels, by the way. I think
Yeah.
during the actual podcast.
Gotcha. I have two questions actually on my list. First one being, was Airbud Seventh Inning Fetch the first rated G film that we've covered on the podcast?
I have to think about. That's the National Treasure is probably
As
PG.
PG.
Gotta
Yeah, we
pull
haven't
up
really
the
watched
list real quick.
much kiddie stuff, have we?
What about
Um,
Red? Turning Red. What was
Oh,
that rating?
I,
that's got puberty, and so that's PG, maybe even 13.
I think it's PG.
That's yeah,
Writer just saying red. I'm like, we haven't covered that one.
yeah. That's
All right,
R. That
clarified.
is R. It
Pull
might
up our
be.
podcast
Flight of the
list real quick.
Navigator was probably PG.
Fly Niagara was PG. I know that.
Ooh, Red Balloon. That probably didn't have a rating.
Turning Red is PG.
I'm assuming that Princess Bride is also PG.
The Red Balloon is not rated.
It probably would be rated G, but I don't. They didn't even have that rating system back when that came out anyway.
Princess Bride is PG. And
Halloween
What about
Town's
what
probably
about Halloween
PG.
Town?
It's got some dark stuff. It's probably PG.
Halloween Town is not rated.
Well, it'd probably be PG anyways. Spirit.
I'll look up Halloween Town 2. Also not rated.
Let's see. Spirit, Suncom, Marion. That a Spirit is G, from what I see. Yeah.
So I guess it would be the second one.
Let me go double check my physical copy because I don't know if I trust it.
Go get the hard proof.
That's fair. Sorry, there's a lot of loud noises in my house going on right now, so I'm muting and unmuting myself.
It is indeed a G. Somehow.
All right.
That's a really weird G.
It's rated
To be honest
G
with you.
for sex and nudity. A stallion and a mare flirt and nuzzle in several scenes.
I see you found the same thing I did, where I couldn't believe that was.
That's what it's listed for the reason of G.
Yeah, I know. But I checked my physical, and it's correct. It is G.
Wild. Wild that the
That
G
is-
rating is for sex and nudity.
That's wild.
Those are some naked horses.
They are indeed naked horses.
All right. Well, then I'm corrected. Then Airbud's number 2.
Yeah, because
what's your
Treasure
second
Planet is
question,
probably PG.
Yeah.
My second question I have: is The Sandlot a monster movie?
No. As we discussed thoroughly, it's just a normal dog
It
in the
is
eyes of Ryder and myself. So
when the realism of the realistic of what the film is, yes. However, in the portrayal of the film, is it a monster?
to the kids, but
Give me examples of something you would qualify as a monster movie, Springs.
for
Um,
like
well,
Dracula,
there's like the big
Frankenstein.
ones, yeah, the Universal monsters, King Kong, Godzilla, but something more that size. I mean, does Cujo count as a monster movie?
I haven't seen it. The killer dog one,
Yeah,
right?
that's the Killer Dog one.
Christine is considered a horror movie, even though it's not really
Well,
much of a horror
Christine's a
film.
horror movie, but is a sentient car a monster? I mean, that really gets down to what a monster is.
Well, it's a possessed car. So, would you consider poltergeists monsters?
I don't know. For me, not necessarily. I don't think so. For me, a monster would be a biological being. I don't know
What
if
about
I'd
Yeah,
call
I
a
mechanical?
probably agree with
robot
that.
a monster.
I wouldn't call a ghost a monster. I don't think. Well, well, no.
No,
I
I'd
feel like
call monsters. I'd call ghosts monsters. I'd call robots monsters. It's just contextual. At least because my mind from what the angle I'm going with this at from is that it's portrayed as a it is portrayed as a monster. My question is that it's only portrayed as a it's portrayed as a monster for most of the film. So it could be. I'm not against the idea of qualifying it as a technically a monster movie.
Okay.
it's an interesting one because I don't feel like it's filmed necessarily like one. Because
No,
you get the shots where it's parts of the body. It's like, ooh, it must be really scary to look at. But the music, I don't think fits the lighting being very well lit during the day doesn't really help for the horror vibe of a monster film.
no, I agree. It's not filmed at all like a monster film, and it's not. It doesn't have the tones of a horror. It has suspense in it by not showing us the
Like
full look until later.
I wouldn't consider Harry Potter and Sorcerer's Stone to be a monster movie because it's got um, Fluffy in it. So I think it's just a movie that has a monster, but I don't think it's a monster film.
Would you consider Hotel Transylvania a monster movie?
I haven't seen it, but based off what I know, yeah.
Okay. I'm trying to think, does a monster movie only
Does it require
does
horror
it require
elements
no
or
does it require one monster versus a lot?
I
For
think you can have a
example,
monster movie that's
like
just one monster.
Scooby Doo Monsters Unleashed, is that a monster movie? Or would you say that's a movie
Yeah,
that has monsters in it?
because they try to make it horror in the lens of a comedy. Like when the oh, right, I haven't seen it.
Well, then you could
The
go with
lake part uh, at the cabin.
yeah.
Um, they build that up like it's spooky, and then they don't make it spooky
Okay, so for
at the
you,
end
it
of
needs
it.
to
But
have horror elements.
it doesn't have to because your Hotel Transylvania, that's a comedy kids movie, and I would still consider that a monster film.
Okay, what about Young
I
Frankenstein?
Yeah, yeah, I'd still consider that a monster movie.
I would consider this. I think I'm kind of on the page. I might consider this a monster movie. I think I'll do that for the specific reason that the monster is an obstacle presented to the characters that they have to deal with eventually, and it's set up early in the film. So while it doesn't have any horror elements necessarily, they're more played for comedy as we're older. I think it qualifies as a monster movie because that's the way the film plays it. They're an obstacle, some beast for the kids to deal with.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm not against it. I just don't see it that way. So I'm fine with it if it is.
I can see it. I can definitely see it as. I'm leaning towards that it is. Um, but
Okay.
I guess what are your thoughts, Springs? Is it a
My stance
monster?
is I think it is. I think with how early on they touch on the beast's presence. I mean, it's the first game Smalls like goes to. You see the fence moving in a shadow. I think because it's that early on and not the halfway point where the tone really shifts and it like hints at it. I think it is a monster movie. It's not a you know a fictitious monster or you know spiritual, whatever. And I think I'm going a little back on what I said about ghosts and robots, because Scooby Doo is like, anytime there's a robot or a ghost, they're like it's a monster. Um,
Hmm.
so I think that
I
helps.
would definitely consider the androids in Alien. I consider them monsters to a point of fashion.
Oh, see, for me, the thing I was stuck on for a monster movie was, being a monster movie, does it only need, is it specific to one monster?
Oh, I see.
Like, what's the difference between a monster movie and then a movie that has monsters in it? Like the touch of the
It's,
line
the
for
what I
me is the Hugh Jackman Van Helsing film. I don't know if I'd call that a monster movie.
I it came down to
Airbud.
me for whether they present an obstacle at some point for the characters to overcome. I would I would qualify. That's why I'm leaning very much towards Sandlot could be considered a monster movie because the monster in it, quote unquote, presents an obstacle
Okay.
and some threatening force.
Interesting that's not classified in the genre of the film. In this patriarch uh no, not patriarch,
Patriotic.
patriotic, thank you. Not patriotic film.
No, patriarch is right. They complained that no one was in it. Someone did anyway.
That is true. The review.
I mean, and it's a bit of an old reference, but the movie House of Dracula, that's a monster movie that has Frankenstein, Dracula, and the Wolfman in it. I would consider that a monster movie.
Okay. Okay. I was just curious on that. So
Hmm.
I'll take us to one of our classic questions. Favorite character? Springs.
oh boy. Hmm. Favorite character.
I have a guess of what it will be. We shall see.
I think I'm gonna go with Scotty Smalls.
Not the one I was thinking,
Who were you thinking
but
of?
makes sense.
Were you thinking Ham?
No, I
Okay.
wasn't thinking Sandlot.
Oh. Were you thinking Jimmy
Um,
Dugan?
yeah,
Yeah. I think the first half of him, I don't necessarily care for.
yeah,
I think Scotty Smalls is a character I can relate a little more to.
yeah. This
I'll
one,
go. I'll go next.
yeah. Go.
Uh,
I'm thinking.
I'm gonna go with Kit. I think about it. I don't know. Like I said, she kind of walked away from the film. She was my favorite character. And I grew up on Sandlot, which is kind of a shame. I think, but I don't know if now I would pick anyone from Sandlot as my favorite character of the season. So I'm gonna go with Kit Henson.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree with Kit
Oh, thank goodness.
because I did like Dottie, but as I said, within League of Their Own, writer had the same sentiments where the ending just kind of dragged her down. Not to a bad character level, but just not at the level she was the entire movie. And Kit stole the show at the end.
Okay.
Why'd you say that, Sprinks? Were you
Well,
thinking Airbud?
I thought you were gonna jokingly say Airbud. Yeah.
That's fair.
Airbud's not much of a character in Seventh Inning Fetch, which is unfortunate considering his name's in the title. Because he has more of a presence in the previous films.
All right. I was just go to the contrast of that. Least favorite character. We're gonna go in reverse order here, I guess. Crimson.
Ah, bollocks. The hardest one I go first for?
Yep.
I mean, I have my answer,
You
but I hope it's not unanimous across the board.
Uh, so, well, Sprinks, if you got it, go ahead. I'd say go ahead.
Well, that's okay with Ryder. I don't want to be breaking the rules here.
go ahead. Give
I
him
don't
more
want to
time.
break the flow here.
The two scientists from Airbud,
Good pick. Good pick.
and to me,
Don't
they
know.
count as one character.
Well, one of them's just called the Professor, and the other one's Carlson.
Okay, Professor Carlson.
Uh,
There.
yeah, Professor Carlson, perfect. And I agree. I'd pretty much lump them together. Uh, My I wouldn't pick them because even though they're stupid, there's some funny moments with them, which involves a level of entertainment. I'm trying to think of a character that took away enjoyment from
Crimson, who
me,
is at
and
the bottom of your Sandlot group list?
um,
It's a good
there were
it's a good
several I
British
didn't
show.
know the names of. So
Like
them,
I remember we ranked them all, but who was like at the bottom?
um,
Was it the
probably
brothers?
Squints.
Oh, I thought it was
Well,
Tommy and
the
Timmy.
brothers, uh, I didn't know their names. I said they weren't really relevant. Same with the one that
Yeah, yeah.
got lowered in. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Probably Squints though. You- If it in those, not in all of them. I think in all it'd probably be Ray from Field of Dreams.
Oh wow,
Yeah,
that's
Huh.
I don't.
surprising.
I didn't enjoy his character, his full belief in everything. I didn't like.
I found Ray
Well, it
very
fits his
boring.
character,
I don't
but
think I'd I don't I don't
yeah,
think I'd pick him as my least favorite. Like, he didn't irritate me, I just found him boring.
yeah. I don't think any of the characters in this irritated me. Yeah, I
Uh,
don't think so.
see, I'm trying to think. I might for my least favorite character, ooh, I
You've had the most
man,
time to think on it now.
yeah, it's true. Like I said, well, I would probably pick the scientist. That would be the easy choice. But I'm thinking of my Sandlot characters now. I'm actually gonna pull up my notes for it really quickly so I
I'm trying to
can
remember. I think
read their
Ryder,
names.
yours was the like taller one with the glasses who brought the chewing tobacco. Remember?
Yeah, he didn't irritate me, but he just might be the most nothing character. Scroll down to the bottom.
Do you keep the
Um,
notes of everything on your phone or whatever
I
you
do.
take
Yeah.
notes on? Nice.
Was there ever a Rockford Peach who had no name? Did they all have a
I Yeah, I was like a lot of the team didn't have characters. There's
Yeah.
Randy the
My,
pitcher, and then there's the guy that started with a T that uh, his name was dropped a few times, but hardly call
yeah.
him a character.
Tyler.
Yeah,
Did I say?
So yeah, there are nothing
Did I
characters
say
on
the
both Rockford
Timberwolves?
Peaches. Yeah, you said Rockford
the,
Peaches, but that's why I'm saying I'm thinking like there are nothing characters on League of Our Own and
Uh,
Airbud teams like the Timberwolves
okay.
respectively.
I'm like I'm getting
I
But
confused.
yeah I misheard. So
yeah,
you meant
you
peaches.
said you said Randy, and I'm like, that's not a Rockford
it's not a
Peach.
lady
Fuck
name.
peach.
uh, yeah, I'm thinking like yeah, I'm gonna go with the twins from Sandlot. No, no,
Okay,
they didn't annoy me as much. I'm gonna go with Bertram. Yeah, the guy who
Mhm.
brought the chewing tobacco because
the fart
he
sniffer.
yeah he contributes all of nothing to the script, and the only thing he contributed was an annoyance.
What was the peaches question again? Space
If
that
there
I
was like a
misunderstood.
no-name Peach, who would
Oh,
be like lesser than a Sandlot in sense because the Sandlot
lesser
actually
than
had
a Sandlot.
well, the Sandlots had names.
Um,
I don't know if there's just a Rockford Peach who's like doesn't have a
I don't
name
know.
and is like a just like a filler background for the team.
I would believe it if there was.
Probably would be.
I would believe if there was, but they didn't do anything annoying, so I wouldn't don't remember.
Yeah, they're just on. I'm trying to think if you have a lineup of the team, can you name every player, or is there going to be a player that doesn't have a name in the film?
I would imagine there probably is because there'd be more players. I think. How many players do you think you could name?
Um, over half.
Let's see. I'm looking it up. There are 26 players on a baseball team. We did not know about
No,
26 players. So,
Crimson. I don't think
Yeah.
I could name 13 players on that team.
yeah. So yeah, we just saw a fraction of the team, I guess. But they could also have had a smaller team for being the first female
Yeah.
team.
They
So
were only doing 4 teams and stuff like that, so it's really possible.
Yeah, Dottie, Kit, May, Doris, Marla. Um,
Evelyn.
Evelyn. Yeah, that's the mom. The one with the kid. Shoot. She wasn't a Rockford Peach. It was the one who couldn't read. Didn't know she was on the roster. Or was she a Peach? She may have been a Peach.
Yeah,
Mary?
she was on the bus. She was a Peach.
She was
Mary,
there.
maybe?
And I think isn't she also the one that gets the letter?
No.
No, that's a different one.
No, the telegram was for
Okay.
someone else. That person, I can't remember their name. So yeah, I said
So
half.
that's like
Absolutely not.
8. Yeah. All right. There were some no names that we weren't privy to.
Well, anyone up for the, as we call it, the segment?
I'm for the segment.
Game time.
Hell yeah, game time.
It could be baseball related. Not necessarily theme baseball related, but it's one we've done before. So if you see, I don't recall off the top of my head what recap we've had it in. But we're gonna go with the number game again. So how the number game works is someone individually thinks of a number between 1 through 10 of I believe we said subjectively. No 0.5s in this, so it's a solid number. And the other two get to ask a question or a grouping. For example, we'll say cereal. So like Crimson would ask Ryder, name a cereal, and Ryder would have a number, 1 through 10, and would give a cereal response that he finds fitting to the number he has. Being that Sinister's not present with us, Crimson and I will both be able to ask 2 questions, so it'll be 4 in total, and then Crimson and I will be able to decide together. Hopefully, last time was very greedy and selfish in terms of nature how this game went.
It was a
Hopefully,
brilliant strategy.
the other 2 trying to get the number will work together to come up with a number and ask. If if the 2 asking get the number, they get a point. If neither one gets the number, actually, I don't know how the point system will work with 3 people.
Guess we're gonna find out.
We'll find out. Anyway, we'll start with Ryder. Go down the line. So Ryder, let us know when you have a number set.
Okay. Me.
Also got to not double up with questions from last time.
Well, we
It's
could.
true. Yeah.
I don't want to.
I mean, we can double up in question of like a question that was given to someone else, not the same question given to the same person. So you don't have to ask me where I think special dark chocolate of Hershey's goes.
All right, I got my number.
All right, Crimson, you begin, and then I'll go, and then you'll have a second question, and then I'll have a second, and then those are our 4.
Okay.
And we'll do this
In
once all the
game,
way through.
in-game Master Chief armor.
Ooh. In-game Master Chief armor.
Yeah, I know it's difficult. We're not including the god awful show that we have covered. Check that out if you hate yourself.
Okay, that's a little harsh.
It's a terrible show. Season 2, out now or soon?
I think it's out now.
Halo 1.
Okay.
All right. Ryder, give me a sandwich. What type of sandwich?
Type of sandwich. Subway. Chicken. God, what is it called? They have like a chicken top sandwich. I don't remember what it's called.
I have like a buffalo
Little-
chicken, teriyaki chicken. I think a sweet onion chicken.
Yeah, I'm looking it up real quick because I don't want to get this wrong.
Yeah, could skew our results.
Yeah. Let's see. This is no, that's not it.
A Subway sandwich.
Like a chicken bacon ranch.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick a teriyaki. Chicken teriyaki would be my choice for that one.
Okay, a Subway chicken teriyaki.
Yes.
So specific.
Yep.
Okay. Crimson.
Okay. Uh, artist, painting. I'll
Oh,
do
jeez,
painting
I'm like,
artist.
that's too big.
Painting artist. Okay. All right. Okay. I need to look this up actually real quick.
There's a lot to choose from.
Yeah, you get me out of that one. So give me a second. I need to look up some famous painters real quick.
Crimson, you getting a ballpark around your number? Thinking?
Yeah, not as close as I want. It's kind of a wide net.
I think we'll.
And to be honest, I don't know if this answer will help my my answer either.
Okay, I think how we'll do the point is if the guessers get the number, they get the point.
Isn't that what we did last time?
Well, I think last time also, if the person giving the number got a majority, they also got a point. But it wouldn't make sense if we all got a point in a round. So
Shoot. Um.
Was it majority?
I thought it was. There was a round where you all three got a point and I didn't.
Yeah,
And I was a guesser. So
yeah. I think it was just if the person who's answering the prompts gets someone right, then they got a point. I don't think it was majority.
all right,
All
Ryder,
right.
looking for that artist.
Yeah.
Painter.
Sandra Botticelli.
Okay.
That helped jack all for me. Shoot, I need one more. One more to really drive it home.
Yeah,
Um,
it's going to solidify an answer here.
Ryder, give me a weapon in Apex Legends.
Oh,
Hmm.
that's a good one. And Ryder, not to derail you, you said Halo 1. Are you saying original or anniversary?
Original. Um. Halo 1. Ooh.
Well, that Apex Legends.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry. Apex Legends. My bad. Okay. I want to make sure I'm getting the name for this right. No, no. Actually, you know what? I don't need to look it up. It's. Never mind. I have to. I have to refresh
They
our
have a lot
weapons
of
on these lists.
guns.
Yeah,
Yeah, they got a lot of
Yeah.
guns in there now.
hopefully that gave him a lot of options to kind of
Yeah.
choose.
That's why I'm uh looking up the wiki for their weapons. I am gonna pick Prowler.
Okay.
With or without the hop up?
Oh, that wasn't in the question.
It wasn't in the question.
Okay, hop up
Well,
list then.
Tristan, I'm a generous sort. Um,
Uh-huh.
I'm dancing around a 6.
How generous of you to give me that information. And I'll provide my information as well. I was around a 7.5 if there was halves, but it would be a 7.
Okay, you're a little higher.
I don't. Yeah, because I feel like he has strong ties for Halo 1, but everything else, I have no idea on where
See, I
that
don't.
could really lie.
He also said original, which isn't as detailed. But then again, it's like a. I don't know if it fits
It's an
with
iconic
nostalgia. It
outfit,
is.
and
It could be a symbol.
and
The Subway
he
sandwich,
never uses the
very.
Prowler.
No. No, but he is a
The
fan of
Prowler's the
bursts
wrench.
because of Hemlock. So it could be close to that. So it could help with that higher. Then again, he doesn't use it. The Subway sandwich seemed to be like very distinct for him. Like really had to nail that and get
Yeah,
that.
Subway.
And then the artist is the only thing I'm not familiar with here.
Yeah, I didn't know that one. I didn't know that artist.
No, a 7 might be
Threw me a
more.
curveball with that question, Crimson. So
Yeah,
I had to actually look at their artwork for a bit.
A 7 might be more inclined. He's still got 8, 9, and 10. Ooh.
I mean, I'm like I said, I was thinking 7.5, which could still be an 8 territory.
Yeah, it could be an 8.
I do feel strong with the Halo armor. Okay. Should we pick at this point?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with a 7. I'll say that.
I will also say 7.
I am at a 4.
Oh
Wow,
my god.
wow. Should have gone with 6.
Well, my thoughts on the Prowler was right, not being picked at all.
You gave me Master Chief armor. I'm like, what's a 4 of what's the fucking Master Chief armor is? Because I like them all. And I guess the closest one I could think of
Here's
was
the
the
ones at the
OG.
bottom.
Oh
Man.
no, not necessarily the bottom. You still got a 1, 2, and 3, but it's low. Wow, that really threw me. Um,
That got me good.
I don't know if the subway.
Yeah, the
I took the
reason the
subway as
Subway
high.
sandwich one is the Subway sandwich was very distinctive for me because I remember it being like one of the first like real sandwiches that I got at Subway because I used to only get breakfast sandwiches there, and I just remember being like, "This is trending to meta disappointing."
Wow. No points for
No
that round.
points
Not even
awarded for this
close.
round.
Crimson, you're up next. Let us know when you have a number in mind.
Uh, I've got one.
All right. I'll begin with a question. Let's see. Um, what's a good question for Crimson?
I have vast knowledge on every topic under the sun,
Obviously,
but not past the sun. That's too much.
Let's do something wild. Crimson, give me a type of shoe.
Uh, Type as in slip-on Velcro or brand,
Type isn't slip-on, Velcro, sneaker.
boots,
Yeah.
etc. Okay. Um, that is a interesting one. I would. Ooh, I could get really. There's a lot of different types of shoes out there. I'll say. Hmm. Gosh darn it, Sprinks. Why do you throw the weird ones? Uh,
Because no one else is going to ask them.
uh, I guess I'll say 6-inch heels,
Oh, okay.
pumps.
Pumps.
damn
Okay.
it! I would have had you. I would have had you add an addition to that Springs because it was a good question, but I'm left confused. uh, yeah. You know what? Give me a Halo 4 weapon.
Oh,
Specifically
ooh,
for.
yeah. Will this be for campaign or multiplayer? That could be a
Yes.
different answer. Okay, yes. Huh. Uh,
All right, fine. Multiplayer.
no, say plasma caster.
Okay.
I think that wasn't 4. That wasn't 5, right? Let me double
I
check.
think so.
Pretty
I'm
sure
gonna
that was
check right
4.
now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Do-
Crimson, give me a DreamWorks character.
That is a Halo 5
Okay.
weapon, sir.
Yeah. Uh,
Never mind. I
Is it?
gotta be
I
on
see it on
pause.
Halo 4 too.
Was it added post, maybe?
Shoot. Well, okay. Then maybe I got the name of the one else. Plasma bolt launcher.
That
Sure.
might be. That I do remember
That's the
being
one
in
I'm
Halo
thinking.
4. Yeah.
Yeah, that one. Plasma bolt launcher. Oh, it's pretty similar to the plasma caster. All right. What was it?
A DreamWorks character.
All right. Time to look up DreamWorks movies.
Okay. Doesn't have that off the top of his head. Got
Oh no,
Madag-
I know How to Train Your Dragon,
Kung
Madagascar,
Fu
Kung Fu
Panda,
Panda,
Megamind,
Shrek.
Shrek,
Meg.
Trolls.
I haven't seen Trolls. Oh, Home. I haven't seen that either. Okay, what is this? Oh, that's nonsense. Ooh. Okay, I think my answer for DreamWorks character would be I think Madagascar was a good example. The giraffe, which I forgot his name.
Melman.
Melman?
Melman. Yeah.
Okay. And then Ryder.
Ooh, gonna nail this down. Um,
Melman, plasma bolt launcher,
And
and
pumps.
pumps.
What a combo.
yeah, yeah. Um,
Well, I'm in a range of a guess.
I'm gonna range two.
I'm not. In,
A
see, the
range
thing is,
of one particular number.
No,
yeah,
I'm between a couple. Hopefully, writers here can help narrow it.
yeah. Hopefully, at this point, I'm just trying to figure something that can help me. But I want it to be a good question, so give me a ReZero character.
That's not going to help me.
Ooh. Hmm. Hmm. That's all right. Need to look up this character's name. It's been a while. Um, I would probably say if I could find her name. Okay. Anastasia Hoshin. So the princess candidate, the pink-haired one.
Okay, yeah, like she was also running the business, right?
Yeah, they're her mercenaries and stuff. Yeah, that one.
Those are
Okay.
4
Anastasia
questions.
Hoshin. Yeah, I'm sure you guys have a pretty easy answer for
Well,
this one.
Ryder, I'm thinking about a 3.
Ah, yeah,
I don't know if it's
yeah.
lower.
I'm kind of right there with you. I'm bouncing between. I was bouncing between 3 and a 5, but I'm leaning towards lower with the answer of Melvin.
Melman really helps. Pumps kind of help. The
I
plasma bolt.
the affection the affectation I would have wanted you to have on the question would have been that he would prefer to wear.
Oh,
Yeah, because I
yeah.
like because the thing that threw me off about the pumps is he could like girls wearing them, but you know
I think Crimson
doesn't like
associates
to
pumps
wear
to a
them.
certain thing. And I think
Yeah.
Crimson only likes wearing 2 types of shoes. So, um, yeah, I think I'm going to stick with a 3.
Oh man. All
And I
right.
fear it might be a 2.
Just to be different, because I'm in that range as well. I'm like I'm gonna go with a 2.
Da-da-da-da-da-da. We do have somebody earning a point here, and that would be Sprinks. It was indeed a 3.
Okay.
Nice. Nice.
Whew,
Good
point for me.
job, Springs. Good job.
Thank you.
I did read the shoe question I was wearing, not
Oh,
what I
sweet.
would like to see. So
I
Okay.
just said a
that
shoe in
would have been a
general.
different answer. Uh, yeah, that's what I read it into. So kind of could have screwed. Well, it didn't change things. You still win it too, right? So, but yeah, there you go. 3, 1 point for Sprinks.
Sweet.
Now, Sprinks, you got to think of a number.
That's true. Okay, got it.
All right, Ryder, you go.
Let us see. Let us see. Harry Potter character.
Ooh,
That's quite a selection,
it is.
but
Huh.
I feel like it will give a lot of insight.
Could,
Unless it's a middle number, then it could be
could answer
a
a lot.
lot.
Lucius Malfoy.
Well, dang it, that's not helpful. Not for me, anyways. Okay.
Not helpful. I feel like you're a
Uh,
huge Harry Potter head.
I even tried to
I
pick that
mean,
one because
I
I knew
know
you
where
were
I
a
would
fan
put
of Harry Potter.
Lucius, but I wouldn't know where you would put Lucius. That's all right. Let me know if you don't have enough info to answer this one. Uh, um, blinking, come on. Galapagos Island creatures.
Don't have enough info. I know one.
Yeah. You know, one?
The turtle
Oh,
or tortoise.
Can't even do Darwin's finches, man. Come on.
or the
No,
iguanas.
no. I
Okay.
remember watching back in science class some Galapagos Islands on evolution, and it was mostly just the tortoises.
Okay. Sharks.
A shark?
Yeah. Please tell me you know more than 10 sharks.
I don't know if I know more than 10,
Oh my gosh.
but
Do you have enough info to use
I
it?
think we'll go with a mako shark.
Okay. Do you know what a mako shark is?
Yes,
Okay.
that's Chum from Finding Nemo.
Right. Um.
Lucius and mako.
Yes. Very, very.
These are
I
questions you're
I have
giving me.
nothing. I have absolutely nothing.
I'll narrow it more down.
Yeah, that's I'm trying to think.
It's crazy that Lucius is nothing.
I got a good question, but it would benefit
Well, I don't know if you like
Crimson
Lucius or
more.
not. Oh, okay. I got
Yeah, I got a good question, but it would benefit uh Crimson more, so I can't ask it.
you can help me out. I have no points yet.
That's true.
Neither
You
do
really want
I.
I'm
Sprinks to
the
be
only
the
one with
only one with
points.
points?
All right. Okay. Okay. Yeah, sure. You know what? I'll help you out, Crimson.
Oh, how generous.
Give me a Kingdom Hearts chapter, Springs.
Um, Clarification. What do you mean by chapter?
And which Kingdom Hearts?
Do you mean a game or do you mean a world?
Well, they played their stories done in chapters, right?
No,
No, it's not.
no. There's worlds in the game, which are its own like whole level. And then there's the games themselves. I guess if you want clarifications.
Okay, then I guess I would consider the levels chapters, I suppose then.
Okay, a
And
world.
this is
Give you world. Oh, shoot, I gotta find like a world that fits my exact number. Let's see. Kingdom Hearts 2 Agrabah.
Hmm. That slightly reins in my number. Slightly. But what do I know? Okay. This is a tough one. This is an important one. Leverage character.
Oh boy. Well, shoot. I gotta like narrow them in my head then out of 10.
Same as you had with the Batmans.
Yeah. Parker.
Okay. This is including redemption. I'm saying that.
Sure. Still Parker.
Okay. That'll help fill up the 10 goal there. Parker, Mako, and I already forgot what right
Lucius Malfoy and
Oh,
Kingdom Hearts 2
Lucius and
Agrabah.
Agrabah.
What an crazy lineup to find
one
a
of
number.
those
Can't
one of those
picture
questions.
Lucius and
One,
Parker together.
one of those questions I asked doesn't help me at all. So
What, the
that's
Kingdom
supposed
Hearts
to
one?
help you.
I'm
Yeah, exactly. That doesn't help me at all.
I don't know how much it helped Crimson.
No. I know how I feel about Agrabah and what a waste of space it is, but uh,
Where are
Ryder, I
you
think we're
failing
in
right
trouble
now?
here.
Yeah, I know.
Uh, uh, fact that Parker and Lucius are the same is just boggling my mind in their respective uh, shows and canons, I guess. Because okay, so
I feel like I'm gonna
we're
go
including
Markdet
Redemption.
after this. Maybe
We'll see.
they all line up in my head.
Uh,
The shark one's
so
though
I
like
know
the big iffy for me because I'm not a big shark guy.
there's at least
You
two, no, three
you
characters lower than Parker on Sprinks' list. So she has to be in the middle or above. I know it's not lower than middle. At least
so
I
out of
hope
curiosity,
that adds up
I
that
was
way.
gonna say you watched Leverage with them, so you would know that whether that's
Yeah,
true or not.
Well, the leverage
I
question's a
just don't know
good guess to get what like
a
a
bracket
definitive
somewhere.
number.
Let's see. So
I'm I'm bouncing between a 5 and a 6.
thinking 6 or 7. Hmm. Yeah. Okay. I'm picking one of those two.
Yeah. Yeah. So the
All
the Agro one is really throwing a wrench into my works. Obviously, because it didn't help me at all.
I don't know if the clarification of Kingdom Hearts 2 specifically helps in any
I
way.
don't know your opinion on the figuring out games at all.
No.
I just thought this was a fun question, but it doesn't help me at all.
Yeah, I've only played Agrabah the first time, I think. I haven't gone there again, which is where
Well, again,
the
Crimson,
big
Kingdom
boss
Hearts
would
2
be.
is what you've played. You haven't played Kingdom Hearts 1 Agrabah.
Well, yeah, but you specified two,
I
so
did.
that's what I'm going off of. So I don't know the full world of Agrabah if it gets better, but the first one sucks. The first interaction there is terrible. All right, I'll go first, and I'll say 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I'll say 7. But I don't feel like Sprinks would copy someone else's number.
I don't know why I'm always the
I
tough one.
I am gonna go. Oh fuck! I'm gonna go 5.
Well, in tradition of what Crimson said, someone did get it. Point goes to Crimson. It
Probably
was a
Ryder.
7.
Oh, well, yeah, leverage helped
Yeah,
I
because
imagine.
Parker's fine.
you don't like Tara
No,
or the lawyer or Artisan's sister, and so that automatically boosted
Crimson.
her past
I
half.
forgot about Artisan's sister.
Oh,
Gonna be honest, completely
okay.
blanked.
Well,
But yeah,
that helped still.
no,
Okay.
Tara's like bottom of the list, and Nate's top of the list. So I feel like that was a good indication. I feel like Elliot's probably number 2. So
Yeah, I figured Elliot, Nate, and Sophie were probably above Parker. Artisan, I didn't know if he was above or below Parker.
yeah, I'm surprised you didn't know where Lucius was on my list. Anywhere.
No, I had no idea. We don't really talk about Lucius.
No, I really like him in Chamber of
He,
Secrets. I like how dark he gets. He almost kills a kid in Hogwarts school.
that's literally the only thing we talk about Lucius is the
He
Yeah,
almost kills Harry there.
literally the only time
absolutely
we
would
talk
have.
about him. Okay,
Man,
whew,
story would have been so
got a
different if
point.
you did kill him.
I
Yeah,
mean,
it'd be very different.
take care of that Horcrux.
That's true.
Except it had to be Voldemort. Dumbledore said that
Well,
explicitly.
we've talked a little of like the Fane of the Basilisk getting Harry. It didn't take care of the Horcrux. It didn't kill him. So did Fox really help? Should Voldemort be thankful for Fox and all this? Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's the number game. Crimson and I both got a point.
Another brutal defeat for Ryder over here.
Yeah.
Overall points we have on the board, Ryder is at 2 points for segment games. Crimson at a whopping 4 points in the lead. Out of respect, I will continue with Sinister at a 2 points, And myself at 3.
Wow.
Getting shut out.
Right,
Uh,
at least depending on how long Sinister's hiatus is, I feel like you can pass him.
oh,
You're
I
1
don't
point
have that. I
away.
don't have that much confidence. So,
Feel like you got a
um,
good chance.
um, all right.
Well, that was
Well,
the number game.
that was the number game.
Mm,
Uh,
Guess any more questions before our typical final one?
If we were to do another sports season, what would be your first want? What would be the first sport you want to do for another season?
Hockey.
Okay.
I already have a movie in mind for that one if we do that.
Hockey out of Crimson. What about you, Ryder? I could take a
thinking about
guess,
it.
but
I mean, football is the obvious answer. I'm trying to think if there's any other ones other than that that are jumping out at me, and to be honest, not really. Maybe a few fantasy sports, but actually,
Football and
I'm gonna consider this a sport. Yeah, gladiators.
oh,
blood sport. You
Yeah,
going blood
blood sport. I'm
sport?
going with
that does
gladiators
count.
would be my
What a
pick.
great answer. Ooh, Ryder, I love that answer. I will not copy it. I will go with football.
Yeah, blood sport would be good. But I'll stick with hockey because I said it.
uh,
Yeah, I don't have anything else for the final question, writer.
the only question that I guess I would be interested in is favorite scenes, and then and that's pretty much it. And then we can go into the last general one.
All right. Favorite
Uh,
scene.
since I threw the leverage onto you guys first, I'll go first for this one. Um, I'm actually gonna pick Kit breaking down in the dugout. It's probably my favorite scene. She's realized she's losing to Dottie again.
Yeah, filthy thief. That was the first one that came in mind.
All right, well, next one is since you were so raring to go, Crimson. You're next.
All right. Well, I'll be cheap and say Kit crying at the pitcher's plate.
Still counts. Still counts. Bricks.
I think mine's going to be the name calling game in the field in Sandlot against the rival team.
Oh, that's a good scene.
My
Your
Classic.
sister's over there. She's naked.
my honorable mention. No, right before that,
Oh,
where they're one upping each other back and forth. You play baseball like a girl.
oh,
That part.
yeah.
My follow up will be actually in Airbud, 7th inning fetch, when the mom is comforting the daughter on the change in the bedroom.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about the brother sister thing at the bus. That was good too.
I guess my follow up, since we're going to throw that in there, would probably be. Yeah, I'm gonna go Sandlot. I'm gonna pick on their games, like it just the specifically like when Smalls is finally incorporated, like their first like proper
Just
game
a little
together.
skirmish.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess my backup would be the Josh and Andrea talk at the bus.
Okay, with the friend being smushed in the window.
Yeah, even though that was inconsistent.
Yeah. All right. Uh, and I guess if that's all, we can move on to our last question of the day. Unless you got one,
Yeah.
Spriggs, you got the last one you would like to throw out.
No, I think I'm good.
All right, then. What do we think of the season, fellas?
Good.
I think it went pretty well. I would even prefer it if we had more. I feel like we had a good selection of films here, from G to PG. I don't think any of these are PG-13.
No,
Yeah. It would have been
Uh,
interesting to yeah, I kind of wanted the season to be longer, to be honest. There's so much to talk about with regards to this sport and
I
how much it's characterized, I suppose, within it.
I like how it's all necessarily the same. It's the same I don't know if I'll get this right. It's the same theme, but different genre for each film.
Depends. What are you saying is the theme?
Baseball.
Okay, then yeah,
Yeah.
that's one definition of
Okay,
theme.
it's
Yeah.
all baseball, but each film is a different genre of said baseball. It feels like.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
I don't know if they're different genres. Like, I feel like
No,
League of Their Own and Field of Dreams is similar.
Same
I
could
don't
say
know.
about Airbud and Sandlot,
Could be
I
both comedy
but Sandlot's a
dramas.
monster movie.
Is that an
Airbud is not.
actual genre? That's a
Monster movie?
subgenre.
I don't know.
That goes under horror typically,
It
but
does.
I think that's a subgenre.
um, yeah, I'm kind of in a. It was a good season. I kind of wish it was longer because there's so much to tackle with respect to baseball. And while we did cover a couple different genres, it just it feels too short almost. Though I think the addition of our tier list was, or not a tier list, but our draft was awesome.
That's true. We never really touched on the draft.
I mean, we covered it pretty thoroughly within the video itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless you guys want to ask the question we pitched to the audience.
I do not regret
Is that
my poach since then. I will say that. Could be on
Well,
my
I'm sure you
conscience.
didn't.
I don't. I'm so sorry for, what was it, Kimball Cho, I think, from The Mentalist.
Yeah.
yeah, your favorite show, The
Oh boy.
Mentalist? You can't stop
I,
running your mouth about The Mentalist. You love
it
the
was a
smiley face painting that the serial killer leaves everywhere.
You know it.
yeah. Yeah, I might. I think the only thing I might regret is not putting in the Beaufort character over Vi. Uh, um, just because it would just be the main character is named Maple. I do regret not putting Maple in or to replace Naofumi a little bit, but I think Vi is still a good option for that, so I don't feel too bad about it. But that would be my regret on my own tier list.
Okay.
For talking regrets, if I had to have one, it would be the Waffler taking the place of Jack Burton at third. That would be it.
Crazy.
Well, all right, gentlemen, shall I read us out?
Yeah. I mean, hey,
Yeah.
nothing's saying that we can't do another baseball season some other time, and it doesn't limit us to not personally choose baseball movies for our own picks as well.
It's true.
So,
It's true. All right, audience. Well, thank you for listening, whether it be Spotify, Anchor, Amazon, Castbox, Google Podcasts, Pocket Casts, and Samsung and iHeartRadio. And if you happen to be on the visual side of things, be it YouTube or Rumble, thank you for listening. And please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe everywhere. Tell us how much you hate our opinions or how much you love them. Tell us what you thought of the season. As always, I have been a Geeky Writer.
I'm Crimson Rain.
and I'm Springs.
And we will catch you next time. Skadoosh.
Bye.
Toodaloo.